is a moderately successful comedian, an average author, and a terrible actor. And your chance to speak directly with him has arrived. Call 866-969-1969. The phone lines are open. And the Jim Norton Show starts now.
My first advice show in a couple of weeks due to traveling, and I'm blowing my nose like a fucking coke addict. I will be making up the ones I missed, too, so I appreciate those of you that listen and give a shit. Very tired. I came back from L.A. on the red eye. Just had a very, very uneventful trip, except for the Leno. I was happy with the Leno segment. But, supposed to have a meeting, and it got fucking just blown off last minute. All this shit that happens is just, it's as frustrating in my business as it is in any of yours, And I love what I do. I'm very lucky, and it's very easy compared to what a lot of you do, physically at least. I don't have to break my back or drive a forklift or any other crap, which I've done. So, whatever, I'm not going to bitch too much, but a couple of quick upcoming dates. I'm going to whore myself. 15th and 16th of this month, I will be in Albany at the Comedy Works. I never draw crowds there, so come on out. Plenty of seats probably available. November 22, 23, Clinton, New Jersey, the Garden State Comedy Club. And Friday and Sunday, December 27 and 29, I'm in Las Vegas at the Hard Rock. It's one show each night. Tickets go on sale Friday. And then San Diego for New Year's Eve, the American Comedy Club. Tickets on sale Friday. Okay, let's go with Ed in Philly.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, buddy.
Hey, I've got about 60 days sobriety right now.
That's great, man.
And, thank you. It's been wonderful. And thanks for just being out there and being a voice, for sobriety. My libido has been shot to hell. It's total shit.
Yeah.
My wife is starting to get self-conscious about it. I mean, I'm still sexual with her, but I'm just not even feeling it.
You're going through a major change. First of all, when I first got sober, I remember I said to my sponsor at the time, will I ever be able to laugh again? Because I used to do mescaline and laugh, and I didn't think I'd be able to laugh. You're going through a major change right now, so give yourself time. All that stuff will balance out, believe me.
Yeah, I know. It's nice to be able to finally sleep, but everything else is just like, everything's going great except that area. And it's really starting to screw me up. It's like mentally, I guess I'm getting a little fixated on it. When I was drinking, I was sexually very impulsive and compulsive.
Yeah.
When I'm not drinking, the thought doesn't even enter my head. It's just like, man, what doesn't even seem appealing, and it's just, it is a bit of a head fuck. So, but thanks, Jimmy. I'm trying to hang on to it.
Yes, you'll be okay, Ed. Don't get caught up in your head. Your body's going through a major change. Your psyche's going through a big change. Give yourself time to get it'll be a little screwy for a little while. It's okay. Your libido will come back, believe me. Your mind is just fucking all over the place right now. So you're coming out of an abusive relationship with yourself. So give yourself a little time, all right?
Okay, one last question. Any advice on how I could explain this to the wife to where she's not taking it personally? Because at this point, it's starting to affect them.
Well, sit down with her and tell her what I just told you. I'm making a major life change. I'm all over the place. It has nothing to do with you.
No, okay. Well, thank you, Jimmy. You have a great one.
Bye, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Eric in New York. I'm depressed with the thoughts of death and people dying all around me. Oh, I thought that was Iraq. Yes, Eric.
Hey, Jimmy. I'm 19 years old, and it just really freaking bothers me that people just die around me. And, I just feel dead myself. It just depresses me every day.
Well, why are you caught up in it's amazing, and I have certain bouts of that. But when you think about it, death is the absolute guarantee for every person. It really is a big part of our existence. Why are you allowing yourself to be bogged down in thoughts of it?
I'm only 19 years old. I've had two friends my age. One suicide recently, and another one in a car accident. And I was just wondering how you take that, because I know you've had a lot of friends pass away. And
I've had a lot kill themselves. I think I know at least 6 or 7 people have committed suicide, maybe more, counting sober people. And the way you handle it is you grieve. It never gets easy, but the process becomes more familiar. I can handle Patrice's death was extraordinarily difficult. That was probably the hardest I've ever dealt with. But I know the process. I understand the crying and the grief, and just go through it. Let yourself go through it, but you don't get bogged down and obsessed with it when things aren't bad. Because eventually, you know, as my mother used to say, we all go bye-bye in the box. You'll be there in less than 100 years. We're here for a blip of time. So I try not to get too caught up in the fact that other people are dying. And you know what? As shitty as it sounds, better them than you. Better them than you. Like, I think when George Harrison died, or when Roy Orbison died, I forget who it was. It might have been Tom Petty that tells the story. That when Roy Orbison died, George Harrison called him and said, "Aren't you glad it ain't you?" Like, as much as it sucks when people we care about die, better them than me. So, you know, you outlived another one. Be grateful for that.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, enjoy life, dude. I should take my own advice. Okay, let's, Bill in Boston. Fiance's last boyfriend was a hung black guy, and you feel insecure. Hi, Bill.
Hey, Jimmy. Big fan.
Thank you.
I just got engaged to this awesome girl, best girl I've ever met in my life. But I was looking through some of her pictures and just realized that her last boyfriend before me was a very big black man. And kind of noticed that, like, when we first started going out, she had a bunch of Magnum condoms in her drawer.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess I kind of piecing everything together and just feeling a little bit insecure about it. I mean, I know I kind of satisfy her, but just feeling a little inadequate about it. Just wondering, give me some advice on how to deal with it.
Well, I'm a pervert, so I can enjoy that. But I also understand the insecurity of that because I went through it so many times. She's obviously, if she wanted his large black dick, she'd be with him or another black guy with a big dick. Whatever it is that you're giving her is what she wants. Women like size to a certain degree, but men are much more obsessed with the idea of that than women are. It's almost like if you were dating somebody, how big are her breasts? What size tits does she have?
She doesn't have that big tits. Like, they're pretty normal size handful.
Okay, so say they're like B cups. That would be like saying that if you had someone with D cups, her going, he's going to be much happier with someone with D cups. You might go like, no, they were okay, but who cares? That's the way a lot of times women feel about dicks. So if she really, really wanted to be with that guy, she'd be with him. Or if she wanted to fuck someone like him, that's what she'd be doing. But if she's your fiance, that means she wants to commit to you. She's not being forced to.
Well, I am kind of twisting around.
What's that? Oh, all right, well.
Yeah.
I would suggest learning how to make it dirty and enjoying it. But if you can't do that, then just realize she's with you for a reason.
Yeah. All right, cool. Hey, thanks a lot, Jimmy. I appreciate it.
All right, good luck, you lucky duck. Bill in Boston. David in New Jersey has a follow-up on his past sleep issues. Yes, David.
Hi, good morning, Jimmy. How are you?
Good, how are you?
So we spoke maybe 2-3 months ago about my sleeping issues. I was waking up randomly in the middle of the night, and you mentioned adrenaline.
Okay.
I am a diabetic, and I wasn't really watching my sugar too well.
Okay.
I recently got a device, and I've been watching it more and more, and I've been noticing that the nights that I would wake up randomly in the middle of the night and watch my monitor, I would notice that the sugar would peak in the middle of the night to a certain condition. I don't remember the name of it, but it...
Sugar peak.
Anyways, basically, in the middle of the night, the liver basically thinks that, you don't have enough sugar, and it starts just being like an idiot and generating more sugar.
Okay.
And when I noticed I was more on top of my meds and I was taking care of myself, and I was making sure to do all my injections and everything else, that throughout the night, the levels would stay normal, and I felt a lot more rested. So for anybody else that has problems, may want to check out the sugar, and that could possibly be it. But since I've been taking my meds properly and not feeling stupid and sorry for myself and not eating shit and candy and stuff like that, I've been sleeping better and feeling a lot better. So
that's great to hear, buddy. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. I went for my sleep test. I'm supposed to talk to the insurance, the home care people today because I did test for complex apnea. I have it, as I knew I did, and the ASV machine was helpful. It was extraordinarily uncomfortable, and I got when I got a prescription for Ambien. I wanted one Ambien because they hook you up with wires, and I'm very ultra careful with medication. So she wrote me a prescription for 30 Ambien. Did I tell the story on the advice show? I don't think I did.
Yeah, I think you told it. I think you told it on O&A.
30 Ambien, and as soon as I got home, I dumped 29 in the toilet, and I shit on them because they get stuck to the bottom of the toilet. They wouldn't go down, so I took a heaping dump on them, and then finally knocked them off. And I only took a half of the Ambien, and I was able to sleep. So I will be hopefully talking to these people today and get a machine that works sometime in the next week or 10 days. So very frustrating. And to the guy, Joe in Philly, I'm not going to take your call. I'm not mad at you, but you're asking how active I am in a certain 12-step program. I don't mention programs by name on the air. I will say this. I'm not nearly as active as I should be. I used to be extraordinarily active, constantly going to meetings and constantly doing the right thing, but I'm much less than I should be. However, I do still go.
Can I ask you a question real quick about your painkillers and stuff?
Sure.
If you're one of those people who had that kind of addiction to any kind of drug and you have to take it for a medical reason, how do you justify that as far as being sober?
Well, some guy, my sponsor always drilled into me that motives are everything. Now, Ronnie B, from what I hear, didn't take pain medication
That's
for
what I was
his
going to bring up, yeah.
because for him, he didn't feel he could handle it or he didn't trust it, and that's okay. I respect his ability to do that. I am not cocky about it, but when I've had surgeries, or again, I knew why I was doing this. I had zero desire to get high. I wasn't tricking myself. I didn't stockpile the medication. I dumped it immediately. And then there was that one little addict thought in me, though, that when I came home, like, well, they gave you 30. You should save one just in case this study does. I'm like, no, get another prescription if it doesn't work. So you have to be ultra careful and you have to be absolutely pure in your motives. I knew what they were. I'm an insomniac. I don't sleep. If I don't get my test results, I have to sleep for them to give me results. This was not even about being comfortable. This was about getting a machine titrated so I can fucking get my life together because I'm fucking ready to blow my brains out with this fucking apnea. So if you know what your motives are, sometimes people have somebody give them the medication. Sometimes you just, like, again, I will give myself less than the recommended dosage. If they say take one pill every 4 hours, I'll take one every 6 hours and then a half every 6 hours. And I always throw them out before I'm done. I'm ultra careful and respectful of that because pills were never my thing, but immediately they could become my thing.
So it's not viewed as violating your sobriety?
No, nothing's a violation. Drinking or doing a drug. I've had sips of alcohol since I'm sober by mistake. In a bar, one time I took a sip was gin. I thought it was my own Coke. I work in clubs. Spit it out. My motives were not to pick up a drink. My motive was not to drink. I wasn't trying to sneak it in. And you have to be really careful with that because you can't lie to yourself and go, oh, my head hurts. Let me take this pill. If my motives are good. Because you're lying. Your motives are not good. I don't fuck with that stuff unless it's absolutely, again, when I had my fucking sinuses and I had to sit sleeping up for 4 days because I had major surgery in my sinuses, I can't go without pain. I'm not a martyr. I didn't get sober to sit there and fucking have like a nail driven into my forehead. But I knew why I was doing it. So no, it's not as considered a slip if your motives are for real, but again, usually you talk to people, you check that out with people. Doctors don't know. You can't always listen to your doctor because they don't always know about addiction. Like my therapist does not know everything about it. So like, can't you take this? So there was it's funny. Somebody told me about a sleeping aid. So I talked to somebody else in the program and they're like, for guys like us, we shouldn't take it. I'm like, okay, I won't take it. That's why I don't take this stuff. Let's see here. Rick in Ohio wants to ask if I was close to falling off the wagon. If so, how I dealt with it. Rick?
Yeah, I was just wondering if there's any instance where you were really, really close to having a drink, and if you had to talk to somebody about it or how you handled that.
I've had those times in my sobriety where I wanted to pick up, but you call somebody or you go to whatever meeting it is you go to. But my mind doesn't necessarily work like that anymore. It's trickier for me now. It says things like, you don't need to talk to people, just isolate or just eat or blow your brains out. My mind talks to me in a very weird ways now. So a lot of times the way I deal with it is I sit in it and I wallow in it and I become more miserable. When I'm being smart, I talk to people and I do the right thing, or I go to whatever kind of meeting it is that I would go to for something like that. And, talking about it helps a lot. But
right on.
Sometimes you don't know how close you are until you're drinking. That's why we have to be always vigilant about it. All right, buddy?
All right, bud.
Take care. Oh, God, Greg in Florida. Yes.
Hi, Jim. Good morning. How are you?
Good, buddy. Please don't throw pills in the toilet. It's bad for the environment. You know what? I heard that from someone else once. The environment will have to take the hit on this one. Because you know what else is bad for the environment? Me relapsing and then plowing into you on the fucking road. That's bad for the environment, too.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. But, yeah, if you can just put it in a coffee can, put some water in it, and then tape it up and put it in the regular garbage. It's better for the environment.
All right, well, that's terrific. But in that moment, I only thought, get rid of this shit because I don't trust myself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah. Get rid of that shit. Yeah, don't hold on to it. But, yeah, just they're just finding that there's just antibiotics and everything in the environment because of people flushing it down the toilet.
I very rarely do that. But thanks for the call. I appreciate it. All right. Let's see here. Wes in Mississippi about his addiction. Yes, Wes.
Hey, what's up, Jimmy?
Hey, man.
Man, it's so cool to talk to you, dude. I've been a big fan. Me and my wife drove 7 hours to see you in Dallas a couple of years ago, and I was such a nervous Nelly, I couldn't even come up and talk to you and get anything signed or anything.
Well, thank you, Wes. I'm a delight and a darling you could have.
I know, and you think you're not famous, but to us that are of the same ilk as you, you mean a lot to us, brother.
Well, thank you, Wes. That's really nice.
But man, I got on, Jesus Christ, I'm stuttering.
Panicking, Wes.
Yeah, I know. It was innocent enough. I had a neck injury, and then right after that had dental surgery, and it just kind of went from there. And I got on oxycodone, and for several years there, I never shot up heroin or any of that, but I was doing the same things.
Sure.
I was stealing from friends, stealing from work, just whatever I had to do to get the money to get that. And I think there's got to be something we can do to bring this more to the forefront. I don't know if it's doctors or what, but they've got to, look, this shit is just as dangerous as heroin or whatever, crack. Once you get on it, it is. And the worst part for me was after I got off of it, was shitting water for about 2 weeks. It was terrible.
Well, Wes, I think the way to get a handle on it is a couple things. People have to only get the medication when they really need it, and doctors have to stop writing it for anyone who just asks for it.
Yeah.
I think it's a two-pronged issue. The medication, a lot of it is very, very addictive. And again, be sure of your motives, like really sure of your motives when you take something like that. Be very, very respectful of it and very careful of it. But there's no one blanket way to do it. Again, they do say this stuff. That's why we need a prescription. You can't just go and buy it. It's a prescription.
Right.
For most of it, or a lot of this stuff. So, again, it's an individual issue and responsibility thing, and the doctor's got to stop writing all these fucking prescriptions for people. All right, buddy?
Okay, man. Thanks, brother.
Bye, Wes. Now, this guy, Dan, had a prescription for Ambien, and it fucked him. Fucked with him. Hey, Dan.
Jimmy.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, thank you.
I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I did 2 war tours. I got PTSD.
Okay.
And, part of it is sleep. I don't sleep for shit.
Yeah, me neither.
And the doctor at the VA, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been sober almost 16 months.
Oh, great.
But I was still drinking when I got this. And all my files to the VA, it said to the doctor, drinks, and they had like my whole history. And she gave me Ambien, and man, that stuff is. I would fall asleep, get up and drive, and not even know it. I'd wake up, my car would be sideways.
Sure.
I cook food and fall asleep, and the oven on. And
yeah, I've heard it's a real phone calls and shit people make when they're on Ambien is a real nightmare.
Yeah, but there are good. The doctor I have now at the VA, she before I knew it, who would have thought she saw it as an addictive personality.
Right.
And I'm on a sleeping med now that's non-narcotic, and it works. I still don't sleep that great, but it works real good.
What are you on?
It's trazodone.
Oh, see, that's the one I heard, and I heard that for people in recovery it can be a rough one.
No, I had no issues with it. I know it's like I said, it's a non-narcotic, so that's why she prescribed it to me.
Is it a sleep pill or is it for depression? And one of the side effects is sleep.
Correct. It's mostly used for depression, but it does help in cases with sleep. And so far it's working. But that's just a thought. And yeah, I saw you when you came to Cleveland when you taped your show, man. It was great.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it, buddy. Take care.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Be good, buddy. John in Florida, food addiction. Hello, John.
My question would be normally, I just can't go like throughout certain days without thinking of certain foods. Like I always want to have candy or something like that. And I try to just stay off it, and I can do it for like 2 or 3 months, but it constantly comes back. I have no idea. Maybe it's mental.
Well, no, food is very hard.
Lose the weight? Yeah. How did you lose the weight? I mean, I do regular exercise as it is, so.
Well, you lose the weight. You can only do it today. And anything you do, you can only do today. So what happens is if you look at it like, I'm not going to eat this stuff forever, it's a really overwhelming thing. But on any given day, you cannot eat poorly. You know what I mean? So sometimes, like with food, like with anything else, you have to take an hour at a time or a day at a time. And, you know, I would suggest, again, there's 12-step programs with food, which are supposed to be very good. It's a really hard one. I think it's the hardest because you have to eat to stay alive. So I would suggest that 12-step program with food, you mixed in with exercise or whatever, you know, might be what you need. For me, I will occasionally eat what I shouldn't. I had a couple of bad, like average eating days, not particularly great. But, you know, I was in the gym 4 or 5 times last week with trainers, so I would suggest that too.
All right. Thank you so much. Big fan, by the way.
All right. Thank you, man. Good luck. Food addiction is very hard. Let's see. John in California, no trust in people and a self-destructive personality. How do you fix it? Hi, John.
Hey, Jimmy. Nice talking with you, man.
You too, buddy.
I don't know where to even start, you know, go back to childhood in terror and living life. And then you talk about the 12-step programs and talking with people and, you know, psychologists and things like that. I have a hard time trusting those people. And then I'm also a train wreck. You know, I'm 51 years old. I'm 6 foot, 175 pounds, a walking piece of fucking meat, just going bananas on life. And I know this is not the answer. This is not the way to fucking roll.
Well, why don't you, hold on, let me ask you a question. Why don't you trust people? What are you worried they're going to do?
That's a good question. Well, their advice maybe, or the scenario involved. You know, the trust factor. You know, what I think they're going to do, I really don't know, I guess.
Is there anything wrong with you medically? Like, are you paranoid or anything like that?
Maybe, I don't know. It's just one of those positions where, you know, I'm trying to figure it out myself, and obviously I'm not on the right path.
Okay,
you know?
hold on. Sometimes, let me slow you down. Sometimes what you got to do, if you're having these things and you're not sure what it is, get tested or see a psychologist or a therapist or whatever, and make sure that you're not medically, like, you know, paranoid or schizophrenic. I'm not saying you sound crazy, but, you know, you're saying you have a personality disorder, basically. You don't trust people and you're self-destructive. So maybe some therapy would help you.
All right, well, yeah, well, now I got to trust a therapist.
But, well, yeah, what's a therapist is legally bound to not tell people.
Well, I don't care to tell anybody. I don't give a shit about that. It said, I don't trust that motherfucker giving me the advice, medication. I don't know what they fucking want to do.
What do you think they want to do? Use your common sense.
Well, I think they want to collect a paycheck, is what I think. I don't think they're really on my side and really want to fucking help me.
Why not?
They collect a paycheck.
But do you think that everybody who does something like that is just about the money? There's a lot better ways they could probably make money.
I think they get a degree and they're sitting in an office and you're paying your insurance and you know, go through Kaiser or whatever the fuck and you go see a therapist and it's just I don't think they want to prescribe medication.
In some cases, you may be right. I'm sure you're right. But in other cases, you're not right. There's people who do want to help you and they do want to see if they can get to the bottom of whatever your problem is.
Just kind of keep searching for a good therapist?
Yeah, or just realize, so the worst that can happen, so what if you trust someone who's not a great therapist? Think about it. They can't tell people, so what's the big deal? Like, take the risk. The reward will be great, and the loss is very low. Who gives a fuck if they're not trustworthy? You go to someone else.
Yeah, they wanted to give me some medication, you know, depression medication, but I don't want to take stuff. I don't want to be on pills. I drink, you know. I mean, that's my release, you know.
How much
I will
do you drink?
That. Pint every day.
So you think you might have a problem with alcohol?
I have a problem with life.
No. But I'm asking about alcohol. Alcohol is a substance. Life is a vague idea. Life is a vague, ungraspable thing. Alcohol is a very real, graspable, picturable thing. So
yeah, I would say yeah. That's my releasing. Yes, I would say absolutely.
Okay.
That's what I do to survive.
So why are you thinking that maybe you shouldn't quit drinking?
I've been through rehab, and quitting drinking probably would be a first step to start to maybe move forward.
So then you know the answer.
Maybe I do, yeah.
But you don't like the answer because quitting drinking is scary or it's depressing, so you're trying to find a way around the answer. And when you already know
I've done it. I've quit drinking for years.
Okay, were you recovering when you quit drinking? Were you going to meetings? Were you talking to people? Were you helping people and being helped?
Well, that's a trust factor. Yeah, I went to the 12 step. I've been through the meetings. I've been sober I've been sober for over 5 years.
Okay.
6 years. Okay, but the realization of life just doesn't seem fucking realistic. So I'm falling off. You know, where's the next step to this wonderful world we're supposed to live in? I don't know.
Go back to the meetings, and whatever it is you missed early on, you'll get. Or try to get, because obviously you missed something. As they say, your foundation was weak and the house collapsed. I would say that would be my suggestion, to go back and address the drinking first and foremost.
All right. Okay. That's cool. Yeah.
And someone is saying that you need to be tested for being bipolar. Maybe you do. Have you been tested for being bipolar?
No. Yeah. I don't have the trust factor enough to deal with the people. I just don't trust anybody.
I understand, John, but you got to realize, and this is not an insult, but you're not important enough for all of us to trick. Like, think of it.
Yeah, I agree.
That intellectually. So sometimes know that you don't trust somebody, but act as if. Just go through the process. Because now you're just giving yourself an excuse to sit on your ass and do nothing. I don't trust anyone. Therefore, I can't get better.
True.
It's an excuse to stay sick. So even if you don't trust someone, open up to them and talk to them, because realize they can't tell anyone, so you're losing nothing.
Hey, they tell, I don't really give a shit.
All right, exactly. There's nothing to lose.
Yeah. I live my life, make money. That's all I got to do. Make money in this fucking world, and that's all it's about. Making fucking money.
No, it's about being happy, too. It's not just about making money, John. It's part of it, but that's not all of it.
Well, you can't be happy without money.
No, I agree. It's very hard. Making money is a bare necessity, but making money at the cost of all integrity does not. Like, you're saying they're all just there to pick up a check, but no, some of them really do care.
Yeah.
All right.
Find some new players. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
just
cool.
keep your search up. Don't give up.
All right, I'll get back with you, Jimmy. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Good luck, John, and stop drinking. Goodbye, buddy. All right, let's see here. So as we said, the bipolar thing. John in New Jersey, is Let's Take It Slower a precursor to the end of a relationship? John?
Yeah, hey, Jimmy. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How long are you with the girl?
Short, maybe 3 months.
3 months? Wow. And she wants to take it slower? How far has it gone?
I mean, not that far, but we got wrapped up in a whirlwind. I mean, and I'm a type of guy that falls in love quick. I know that about myself.
Yeah, a bit of a love addict, are you?
Hey, But, she hit me with this, let's take things slower, and I just don't, to me, that sounds like, it's over. Fuck you.
Well, yeah, but a lot of times somebody in the first 3 months doesn't want to rush into marriage or a heavy relationship. I think that's fair.
All right.
So why don't you just see where it goes? It's hard to say after 3 months. It's really hard to say.
No, and I get that. I'm not saying, let's, move in tomorrow and get married, on Friday or anything like that. But, we do talk about things and, I get it. I get it.
Okay.
Well, sorry. Thanks, Jim.
Don't be sorry. Thanks for the call, man. Thank you, buddy. That's all right. Jay and PA, fiance wants you to convert to Islam and you're agnostic. Hello?
Yeah, hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
Hey.
We got a huge fan in Lancaster, PA a few weeks ago. But situation I'm in, my fiance and I, love her to death. She's great. Been together a while. But she comes from a Muslim background. She does the bare minimum. Like, she does Ramadan, but, we have good times on the weekend. She's very laid back in that sense. It's not even brought up 99.9% of the time. You wouldn't even know. But her father is very, culturally, with Islam. She wants me to, we're getting married in June. She wants me to convert to Islam, see a sheikh, and just, say a couple sentences. She waters it down. I don't know if I'm and she says, Dad will bless the marriage that way. I'm wondering if I should do it, just whatever makes her happy, or am I setting myself up down the road? And I have friends that, I'm very agnostic. I have friends that have had Catholic weddings that I know don't care. It's just the Islam thing just has that negative stigma,
Stigma.
to it.
I don't know why you should have to. I think she should accept who you are. I've got a real dislike of this whole convert shit. If you want to get married, you should go in as you are and she should go in as she is. If you both mutually respect each other, then you'll have that. If you have kids, you'll have to make a decision. Personally, I would absolutely not do it. If she's she's an adult. So instead of, going to some fantasy book and you're pretending you believe, it's utter nonsense, all of it. So why not just be true to yourself?
Yeah. And that's kind of how I feel. I just didn't know, if it doesn't mean much to make that, because she wants Dad to bless the marriage. That's her big thing.
Well, how about Dad blesses the marriage because you're a good guy?
Exactly. So, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I appreciate that. That's the biggest thing. That's the religious thing to it. And I said, I don't care if we do raise the children, Muslim, whatever they need for morals, you can do that. If that's what it takes for good morals, then that's what you want to preach that way. But that's not how I've become a good person, So, all right, Jimmy, I appreciate it.
Good luck, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Tim in Pittsburgh. My thoughts on 12-step programs, they don't seem to work. What's up, Tim?
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Hi.
Hey, question. I'm an alcoholic. I come from a medical background, and my wife is a current physician. Statistics have shown that 90% of these programs have a failure rate of 90%.
Probably.
Five of those percent that go back succeed. The other 5 fail. So I've been to some programs, and obviously not working for me. Just curious how you got onto your road to sobriety.
Well, might want to rephrase, they're not working for you. Because what happens is when you see them working for so many people, you realize that the formula does work. Whatever effort you didn't put into it, maybe you need to put into it. Maybe you didn't want to be sober more than you wanted to drink. You have to want it. You understand? If you don't want it, if you want to drink 51% and you want to be sober 49%, you're going to drink. Okay? It's a program of desire and of want. You have to want to be sober. If it was for people who needed it instead of people who wanted it, as they said, the meetings would be held in Yankee Stadium. There's a lot of drunks. Most of us do not recover. Most of us die in that state where we wind up in jail or institution. It's an ugly, ugly long road. So I would suggest that you have to surrender. And if you're not going to surrender, I don't think you have much of a chance of it. And,
But don't you agree, Jim, that 90% failure rate is a looming statistic?
I don't, to be very honest, I don't know what's that?
I'm sorry, 90% is a looming statistic that there is something flawed with the treatment program. And I'm not knocking sobriety.
I'll tell you what, you're right.
I want to become, sober like tomorrow. I've got health issues that, I need to deal with and get taken care of. But when you look at it from a statistical standpoint, 90% failure rate is, that's not a handsome bushel of roses there.
Well, that's what it is. That's what alcoholism is. Okay, because again, anybody who wants to be sober and is willing to work a program, again, unless you're constitutionally incapable of being honest with yourself, but if you're not, and if you're willing to be honest, you can get sober. So most drug addicts and alcoholics, I guess, are not willing. It is, I don't know what the success rate is. You may be correct. But I know a lot of people who have developed long-term sobriety by doing what is suggested of them. So if you know you have health issues and you want to get sober, obviously you didn't have the willingness before to do what was necessary. Stop trying to do it your way. Realize that your way got you where you are, and be willing to do it the way other people suggest, and you'll probably see better results.
Well, you are absolutely correct in your statement in that, willpower and lack thereof on my part, and being stubborn and bullheaded, and I'm trying to find a way out of it. But when I look at this, the statistics and the data that say 90% failure rate, then I go, well, why bother?
Well, because there's a 10% success rate. If that's the accurate, and I'm one of the 10% as of right now. So I'm telling you, it's worth it.
All right, Jim. Well, I appreciate your time. And
Everything I have is because I'm sober. Everything I have. I was 18. I was a high school dropout, and I never would have gone anywhere. I would have probably killed myself before I was 25.
I know, man. I've listened to you for years and saw your show down in Pittsburgh. You were phenomenal.
Thank you. I would suggest you do the same for yourself. I'm not special, dude. I am just a fucking babbling, melodramatic, drunken asshole. I really am. I'm not a powerful, amazing guy. I'm a drunken sap. And I got really, really lucky. And the only thing I did was I had a willingness to do what they suggested. And I wanted to be sober more than I wanted to drink. And I stuck around like-minded people. So that's what I would suggest for you. You can do it, okay?
All right. Appreciate your time, Jeff.
All right, buddy. Good luck. Let's see here. Someone is saying the stats on the 12-step program is bullshit. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know or care. And Skippy and Mass, what do I think of smoking pot and not drinking? What, Iraq? Hi, Skippy. What, the phone's crashed again? Well, I can answer Skippy's question. Skip or Skipper, do you prefer? Skip?
Yeah, Skip's fine.
Hi, Skipper.
How are you?
Good, Skippykins. Now, what do you mean about smoking pot? What are you saying?
Well, I like to smoke. It relaxes me, and since I'm not drinking anymore, it's been kind of, the thing that I enjoy doing to relax, But
Okay.
I've heard from meetings and other guys that have more experience than I do that it's just setting myself up for failure in the long run.
Think of it this way. And again, I find it's all the same. For me, alcohol, drugs, all the same. People go, what about caffeine? Like, people just want to jump in and play a semantics game. Okay, I'm still drinking because I like coffee. I guess that's what you hear about, right? I guess there's coffee deaths all the time. I guess people drink coffee and drive into walls. Or I guess they steal from their fucking parents and their loved ones to get coffee. People just play these bullshit games. The reality is, if you're still actively doing drugs, smoking pot, again, I'm not going to morally judge you, but I don't think you can consider yourself sober. So if that's working...
No, and I don't.
Okay.
And that's the concern is that, it's important for me to stay on the right track. But again, it's like I gave up a lot already. And, hey, that's my one guilty pleasure,
Okay, well, I would say suggest see how it works for you. And if it goes okay, then do it. But if not, keep in mind that there's a better way. That's what I suggest. If it's working for you now, keep doing it until it doesn't work. But once it doesn't work, and I predict that it will stop working and you will go back to drinking. And I'm not trying to jinx you. I'm just going by my experience. If you need to have that proven to you by picking up a drink again, realize that right now may be the only shot you get at getting sober. Like this window you have right now where you're not drinking may be the only window you get in your life, and you may blow it by smoking the pot. Is it really worth it? Like, I'm not saying smoking pot's terrible. Hey, if I could smoke it, I probably would, but I can't, dude. I know where it will lead me. So maybe you don't know where it will lead you yet. Hopefully you will put it down before it proves itself to you and leads you back to drinking. That's my suggestion. My suggestion is first and foremost to just stop already. You know you got a problem. Stop trying to find the one little goodie you can still do. But if you have to, just remember that drinking is around the corner, and I hope you get out of it, okay?
All right, brother. Thanks, Jimmy.
I'm not trying to doom you either. I'm just going by my experience, all right, buddy?
No, man, love you. You guys give great advice. I appreciate it, bro.
Thank you. And, because a lot of times people say, well, Steven Singer smokes pot. And he does. He smokes a lot of pot in his jewelry store. That's why it's popular. You walk in, he blows smoke in your face. He's an animal. And the reason you're going to hate him, besides that, the reasons they come in many colors this holiday season. Many colors of diamonds. That's right. Steven Singer has a brand new collection of colored diamonds starting at just $249. Choose from sky blue diamonds, green diamonds, yellow diamonds, black diamonds, and more. No matter which color size you pick, you'll come out the hero. You have to get the woman in your life a gift, and you want it to be a great gift. The more you procrastinate in buying her a holiday present, the guiltier you're going to feel. The guiltier you feel, the bigger the present you're going to buy. So here's some advice. Check out Steven's new selection of colored diamonds. These really are different. They're gifts like the blue diamond circle necklace or the sunshine yellow diamond circle necklace. They start at just $249. We really do love Steven Singer. We don't like the fact that he blows pot smoke in your face, but we do love the products. See, this guy's honestly, he takes a lot of pride in his work, not in his appearance. He's a slovenly, sloppy man. Go to see the entire collection of colored diamonds online at IHateStevenSinger.com. It's always fast and free shipping. Take my advice for real and get the woman in your life a great gift. Steven Singer Jewelers, the other corner of 8th and Walnut. Maybe you don't have a computer. Maybe some large man robbed you and they rubbed their genitals on your mouth in the middle of the night and they stole your computer. On 1-888-I-HATE-STEVEN-SINGER or online, IHateStevenSinger.com. But really, his colored diamond collection is beautiful, and he takes great care to put out really solid products. And thank you guys for calling in, and I'll be back with you next week, and good luck to you. As Dr. Laura says, I did show my pussy on the internet.
Jim Norton is now done dealing with your bullshit. He'll be back next Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. But you can listen to episodes of The Jim Norton Show whenever you want. Go to SiriusXM.com/on-demand for details. All right, well, that sucked. To hear The Opie and Anthony Show 5 days a week live on satellite radio, online on your phone or tablet, or even on demand, go to SiriusXM.com. Also, interact with the Opie and Anthony Show on Twitter, @Opie Radio, @Anthony Cumia, and @Jim Norton.